Hey everyone, it's Barbara here. And I wanted to talk today about Plan B. So much is going on in the world right now that we're not hearing that much about the bridge collapse and all of the lives affected by that, how this impacts overnight, in one split second, people's livelihoods, the thousands of workers that this is affecting, with the port being closed down, with all of um, the port activity, all of the workers dealing with offloading and distribution and all the logistics that goes on with that. And many of you might not know, but I used to represent a company uh, dealing with forklifts and material handling equipment and stevedoring and all of that. And Baltimore is one of the biggest ports. What has happened? No one's talking about it because there are other world events happening and so much is going on in politics. But all of those workers overnight might be unemployed, most likely are, or can't get to work. It affects, there's a huge ripple effect of people's lives being affected by this one incident. And I want to stress how important it is to have multiple streams of income, to have other avenues that you can access. Sometimes it might feel like something is just a little side gig, but maybe that's putting gas in your car, food on your table. It also psychologically gives you hope. You have something then to start pouring more time into than maybe you could before if you were working a lot of hours, if you're commuting and spending a lot of hours trying to get back and forth from work and other obligations. It is so vital to have that. We just had an earthquake in Taiwan. How does that affect you? But when you have a business that is global, that is virtual, and it can fit into many different aspects of your life. Maybe, like myself, I'm in the health spectrum, the health arena. My business is global. I'm located in Florida. We may have a lot of hurricanes. Power can be lost. Things can be down and business can be stopped. But my business as an online virtual business in other countries, in other time zones, in other cities, with other team members working alongside me, I'm not as affected. I'm insulated from a lot of those incidents. And you can be too. This is an eye opener. We had that with COVID, but different incidents happen. There's blizzards, there's earthquakes, there's tornadoes. Your lives can be turned upside down in a minute. And we're not talking about all those people anymore. For the first couple of days, it was big news and what was going to happen and how are these people going to survive. It's not easy taking care of a family, your rent, your car expenses, your telecom. We didn't have those expenses years ago. All of our electronics and our telecom types of expenses are almost as much as a car payment. It's a major part of our family economy. So I want to encourage you to look for things. Some things might be goods that are shipped and monthly orders and that sort of thing. Maybe there is even other things that are coming on board now as disrupting in the banking industry. And there aren't goods that you have to be product oriented. There's many different avenues. However, I want to encourage you, you cannot just depend on one particular income when you have a catastrophic situation happen and everything stopped. I grew up in a business family. My father had a global aviation business and he serviced parts for major airlines around the world, in South America, in Europe, in India, all of these aircraft parts that were needed and global. Then 9/11 happened. And you know what? The world shut down. So it's shut down for a period of time. Even having a global diversified business affected our family tremendously. All of the bills and all of the goods that were ordered still must be paid. And I remember our family having to walk through that situation. I remember as a young girl that he had, I think, sold probably about 20 or $30,000 worth of parts to Lebanon. And think about that. And in those times, that was a lot of money. I'm not sure what it would equate to now. But then all of a sudden, there was a war and all of that shut down. And I think it took 20 years for my father to be repaid on all of those goods that he had shipped to Lebanon. But now things happen even faster and it's catastrophic in a bigger, different ways. And you must be insulated by that, by having different streams of income and a side gig, which it really isn't a gig. It can become your main source of income. I see it over and over again. It's a huge contributor to our lives, to our lifestyles. And you can have insurance, but this really isn't insurance. And psychologically, it gives you hope because when you are cut off as thousands of people can be, or on a strike. Everyone's in the same boat. It's not like you can go and try to find a job, and oftentimes you're sending your resume to a black hole. You can't follow up, though you don't know where it is in the time frame, and there could be thousands of people applying for the same thing as you because your industry was hit all at one time, or your location was hit all at one time by a catastrophic situation. So I wanted to put that message out there. And I have a couple. I don't just have one. So I love being an entrepreneur. I love being able to see things when they are at the beginning, and I also like unique things, not me too things, things that you can't just run to the store and get. And so those things are really important. The viability of a company. Is it on the stock exchange? Is it publicly traded? So there are many factors that you can look at. There are lots of opportunities out there now. And I want to encourage you to insulate yourself because I really am concerned about those thousands of people affected by this incredible collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Thank you. Have a great day. Reach out to me if you want to know more about what I do.